Sometimes the heart feels so full of old hurts that it is hard to imagine a day without them. There may be a memory that still stirs up sadness or a moment that left a wound deep inside. When pain stays for a long time, it can begin to feel like a part of who we are. Yet the truth is, there is a place within that knows peace is possible. Peace is not something far away. It is here, waiting for you to allow it in. And one of the most loving ways to open that door is through forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about saying that what happened was right. It is not about forgetting. It is about giving yourself permission to live without carrying the heavy shadow of the past. This is an act of kindness to the self. When you choose forgiveness, you are telling your own heart, I love you enough to let you breathe again. Think of your heart as a soft, beautiful garden. Every painful memory is like a stone that has fallen onto the soil, making it harder for the flowers to grow. You can keep those stones there if you wish, but the flowers will always have to grow around them. Or you can start lifting them out, one by one, making space for new beauty to blossom. Forgiveness is like lifting out those stones, not to erase the past, but to give the present room to flourish. You may not be able to take all of them out at once. That is fine. Even removing one small stone changes how the garden feels. You do not need to rush. You only need to be willing. There is a freedom that comes when you realize forgiveness is more for you than for anyone else. It is about feeling light in your own body, being able to laugh without that little ache inside, resting without the old memories pulling at you. The moment you choose to move in that direction, even if you are not yet ready to forgive completely, the healing begins. Just the thought, I am open to the idea of releasing this, plants a seed of peace in the mind. That seed will grow with your care, your patience, and your love. When people think of forgiveness, they often picture it as a gift given to another person. In truth, it is a gift you give to yourself. Holding on to pain is like gripping something sharp. The longer you hold it, the deeper it cuts. It does not matter who put it in your hand. It is still you who gets hurt if you keep holding it. Letting go does not mean the past changes. It means you are no longer cutting yourself on it. This is a powerful choice, and it is one you can make gently in your own time. The body feels everything the mind carries. You may have noticed how your shoulders tighten when you think about something upsetting, or how your breath shortens when a painful memory comes back. Sometimes the chest feels heavy, or there's a knot in the stomach. These are not random. They are the body's way of showing that the mind's burden has become a physical weight. When you hold on to anger or resentment, it is like asking your body to keep carrying a sack of stones everywhere you go. It tires you, even if you do not realize it. In the same way, loving thoughts bring a softness into the body. When you think a thought of peace, the breath becomes deeper. When you think of something kind, your muscles relax a little. It is not just about the mood. It is about the way your whole system responds to the energy of your thoughts. This is why forgiving thoughts are so healing. They release the tension that the body has been holding, sometimes for years. Even if you start with a very small thought like, I am willing to feel peace about this, you may notice a shift in your breathing or the way your shoulders feel. That is your body saying, thank you. Forgiveness also helps the mind clear. When the mind is crowded with old stories and hurts, it can feel like a room where all the curtains are closed. Light tries to get in, but it is blocked. Forgiving thoughts are like opening the curtains one by one. More light comes in, and you can see things in a new way. It does not mean you forget what happened. It means you can look at it without it having control over your feelings anymore. That is a true kind of freedom. Think for a moment about something you have been holding on to. You do not need to push it away or try to fix it right now. Just notice it. Feel where it lives in your body. Maybe it is in your chest, your stomach, your throat. Let yourself simply be aware. This is the first step, becoming gently conscious of what has been with you. There is no judgment here. You are not wrong for feeling the way you feel. You are simply acknowledging the truth of your own experience. This awareness is like turning on a light in a dark room. Once the light is on, you can begin to see the shapes and shadows for what they are. Sometimes the mind tries to push these feelings away, thinking they will go if ignored. But emotions have a way of waiting until we are ready to listen. When you allow yourself to see and feel them, you begin the process of release. You can say softly, either out loud or in your mind, "I see you. I know you are here, and I am willing to let you go when the time is right." This simple acknowledgement can ease the tightness inside and create a sense of inner safety. From this place, forgiveness can naturally begin to unfold. When you practice being aware of your feelings without trying to fight them, you give yourself space to breathe. You also learn that emotions are visitors. They come, they stay for a time, and they go. The past does not have to live forever in your body or your mind. Each time you notice a heavy feeling and choose to breathe into it rather than hold it tighter, you are loosening its grip. Over time, this gentle practice makes forgiveness feel less like a mountain to climb and more like a natural step forward. There comes a tender moment when you are ready to look more closely at the feelings that have been asking for release, not with fear, but with a quiet willingness to understand them. You may notice that some emotions return again and again, like waves that keep reaching the shore. These waves may be anger, disappointment, or sadness. They may rise unexpectedly when you hear certain words, visit certain places, or even in the quiet of the night. The fact that they return does not mean you are failing to heal. It means your heart is gently reminding you there is something here worth setting free. This noticing is an act of love. It is the first door that opens toward forgiveness. You do not need to rush through it. You only need to step toward it, one breath at a time. A gentle way to begin is by writing down what keeps coming back, not to dwell on it, but to see it outside of yourself. Paper can hold the weight for a while, giving your mind and heart room to rest. If writing feels too heavy, you can simply sit in stillness and speak the feelings aloud to the quiet of the room. The goal is not to force a solution, but to allow the truth of your emotions to be seen and heard. Often, what has been carried for years becomes softer the moment it is acknowledged without judgment. In these moments of reflection, kindness to yourself is essential. You may feel layers of emotions. Some you understand, some you do not. They are all part of the same tapestry of experience. The mind may want to decide which ones are right or wrong, but the heart knows they are simply what is. Let them be. In allowing them to exist without pushing them away, you create the safe space needed for them to transform. This is the gentle soil in which forgiveness grows. From this place of awareness, you can begin to invite words of healing into your heart. Affirmations are not just pretty sentences. They are tools that reshape the patterns of thought and feeling. When you say to yourself, I choose to release the past and open my heart to peace. You are planting a seed of freedom in your mind. That seed, with repetition and care, begins to sprout. Another healing thought might be, I am willing to see this situation with compassion. This does not mean agreeing with what happened. It means choosing to look at it without the filter of constant pain. Over time, these words create new paths in the mind where peace can travel more easily. You can weave these affirmations into your day in simple ways. Whisper them when you wake, so they are the first thoughts you offer yourself. Repeat them softly before sleep, letting them settle into your subconscious as you rest. Say them when the old memory returns as a gentle counter to the heaviness. The more you invite these thoughts in, the more they begin to feel like home. And as they settle, you will notice the edges of old wounds becoming less sharp. One of the most powerful ways to deepen this practice is through the mirror. Stand where you can meet your own eyes and let yourself be present with the person you see. At first, it may feel unusual, even uncomfortable, to look directly into your own gaze, but with time, it becomes a sacred connection. As you hold your own reflection, speak the words of forgiveness you are ready to give. Say, I am willing to let go. Say, I choose peace over pain. Say, I forgive and set myself free. Feel the words as you speak them, noticing how they land in your heart. In the mirror, you are both the giver and the receiver of love. This kind of mirror work does more than create a momentary feeling. It builds trust with yourself. Eye to eye, you learn that you can show up for yourself in the same way you might for a dear friend. And as that trust deepens, the resistance to forgiveness softens. You realize that letting go is not abandoning yourself. It is coming closer to yourself than ever before. As these affirmations take root, you may find that old thoughts still try to visit. This is natural. The mind is familiar with certain patterns, and it will return to them out of habit. But each time it does, you have the power to choose a different thought. If the mind says, they hurt me, you can gently replace it with, I am healing and becoming free. If it says, I can't forget, you can answer, I am learning to live in peace now. This is not about denying your feelings. It is about guiding them toward a softer, kinder space. Over time, this practice changes the way you relate to your memories. The events may remain the same, but the grip they once had on you loosens. You are no longer pulled into the same depths of pain. Instead, you can look back with a sense of calm, knowing you have reclaimed your power to choose how you feel in this moment. And each time you choose a loving thought, you step further into the freedom that forgiveness offers. There is a beautiful depth that comes when you create your own sacred space for letting go. Forgiveness is not always a single moment. Often it is a process, and creating a gentle ritual can help guide that process forward. It can be as simple as lighting a candle and sitting quietly with your thoughts, allowing the flame to represent your inner light. You might write a letter to the person, situation, or even to yourself, one you never have to send, expressing everything you feel. The act of putting those emotions into words and then choosing what to do with them can be incredibly freeing. Some find comfort in holding the letter to their heart, then tearing it into pieces or placing it in a safe place to release later. Others prefer to close their eyes and imagine handing their hurt to a warm, healing light that gently carries it away. These rituals are not about erasing the past. They are about choosing to no longer let it define your present. When you engage in these acts, you tell yourself, I am worthy of peace. I am worthy of a life free from the chains of what happened. Forgiveness rituals are personal. There is no right or wrong way. They can be simple or detailed, quiet or expressive. What matters most is that they feel safe and nurturing to you. Over time, these small acts send a clear message to your mind and body that you are ready to heal, ready to invite in a lighter way of living. And as you continue to release, something wonderful begins to happen. Space opens up inside. Where there was once tension, there is room for joy. Where there was heaviness, there is space for creativity, love, and new experiences. You begin to notice small shifts, smiling more easily, sleeping more deeply, feeling a sense of calm where anxiety once lived. Forgiveness clears the inner path so that the fullness of life can flow back in. You start to trust yourself again, and that trust extends to the world around you. The heart that once felt guarded now has space to open, to give and receive without fear. Moving forward with an open heart is not about pretending nothing ever happened. It is about carrying yourself with grace, knowing you have the strength to heal. It is about living in a way that honors your resilience, choosing not to let the past have the loudest voice in your life. Each day becomes an opportunity to choose peace over bitterness, understanding over judgment, and love over fear. The more you make these choices, the more natural they become, until forgiveness is no longer an effort. It is simply the way you live. Peace is not something that happens only when life is perfect. It happens when you choose it, even in small moments. You may still have days when old feelings rise up, but now you have the tools to meet them gently and let them go. That is the gift of this journey. Not that life becomes free of all hurt, but that you become free within it. And so, as we close this time together, know this: you have the power to release the weight you have been carrying. You have the strength to offer yourself the love you may have been waiting for from others. You have the wisdom to step into a future unburdened by what lies behind you. Forgiveness is not about them. It is about you. It is the key that unlocks the door to your own freedom. Take a deep breath now and let these words settle in your heart. I release the past with love and step into my future with peace. Repeat it softly, letting it become part of your inner truth. Feel the way your body relaxes as you speak it. Let it be your reminder, your anchor, your gift to yourself. You are free to move forward. You are free to live with an open heart, and you are deeply, beautifully worthy of the peace you are creating right now.